Good evening, and welcome to the Museum of Science and Industry, Chicago. The Masonry Advisory Council presents to you the 2022 Excellence in Masonry Architectural Awards. We'd like to recognize and thank the following presenting sponsors for their support of this year's awards: Echelon Northfield, an Old Castle company, and Mason Contractors Association of Greater Chicago. We would also like to thank our platinum sponsors for this year's awards: Brickworks Supply Center, Administrative District Council No. 1, International Masonry Institute, and Tuck Pointing Contractors Association. We would also like to thank our silver sponsors for this year's awards: Quikrete, Mason Contractors Association of Northwest Indiana, Labor Management Cooperation Committee, and Roush Clay Sales. Thank you all for your support. This year's awards will recognize the achievements of outstanding architectural design and creativity, as well as the execution of excellence in masonry work. Each submission was judged on composition, detail, and the creative use of masonry products. The judging was hosted in Denver, Colorado in October, where all submissions were presented to a well-respected and experienced panel of professional architects. The architectural judging panel this year included Mark Rogers, University Architect at the University of Denver; BULLDOG, Principal at Martin & Martin Consulting Engineers; Dan Craig, Architect at Shears Adkins Rockmore; and Diane Travis, Architectural Consultant with the Rocky Mountain Masonry Institute. We'd like to begin by recognizing our winner in the first category: Housing, Single Family. The award this year goes to the LAUREL in Naperville, Illinois, which was designed by the architecture firm of Cook Architectural Design Studio.
Well, in particular, the LAUREL project had a characteristic of bringing the stone inside as well as outside, that it was more than just skin deep, to be honest, and a real thought about how masonry can be an expressive material within the home as much as it's a statement piece on the exterior.
I like the stone that they selected and the color choice, and I really appreciated where they brought the masonry into the inside, and so it was very much a common material, and even some of the landscaping and site walls use the same materials, so I thought that was well done.
Congratulations, the LAUREL. Next, we'll honor the winner in the Housing Multifamily category. The award this year goes to the BENNETT project in Chicago, Illinois, which was designed by the architect firm of Grech Architects. The mason contractor on the job was Illinois Masonry Corporation.
We gave an award to the BENNETT high-rise because we were so impressed with the masonry in the bottom 4 floors. This project not only addressed the pedestrian scale, where there's stronger horizontal lines on the first floor than there are up above. It also put in a wonderful sort of garden level. You see trees growing out of the base. I would love to live here. We're also impressed with the simplicity and the clarity of some of the traditional masonry moves, where they took a standard column capital and reduced it to its very simplest form, which is just a slightly larger piece of stone. Also impressed with the very difficult cutting of the limestone over the window heads. This is a very complex and difficult piece of custom stonework.
Congratulations, BENNETT. Next, we'll honor the winner in the Healthcare Scientific category. The award goes to Broadway Youth Center in Chicago, Illinois. The project was designed by Wheeler Kearns Architects. The mason contractor was J&E Duff Incorporated. The supplier was Brickworks Supply Center.
So with the Broadway Youth Center, one of the aspects that stood out for the jury as a whole was the very creative use of masonry in ways none of us had seen before, to express not just a building idea and a building mass, but more importantly the program that's within the building. And so conceptually it's a very, very strong submittal.
Well, one of the things that's part of the evaluation of these competitions is masonry really a key component of showing the story of the building and what the building's program is meant to be. And here is a great example of a project where that mix of materials in a way clearly showed that they were expressing this idea that yes, there's a lot of different personalities involved, there's a lot of different preferences and choices in people's lives, but we can come together in a place that really showcased that activity in a way and at multiple levels. I thought it was very impressive also that it didn't look like it was only a ground floor building, but that its expression to the platform was another piece of, I thought, thoughtful architectural design.
Congratulations, Broadway Youth Center. Next, we'll honor the winner in the Contemporary Rehab Restoration category. This year's winner is GOLDBLATTS, located in Chicago, Illinois. The project was designed by Bauer Latoza Studio. The mason contractor on this job was IW&G Incorporated.
Yeah, so there were a lot of challenging here with GOLDBLATTS. You're starting with a building in need of attention, and to have it turn out successfully like it did is a real attribute to their design and to the craftsmanship of those involved. They rebuilt parapets, they brought in new materials that look very similar to the existing. It's a difficult thing to do, to have a renovation and repair look seamless into the old original materials, and they did that. And the terracotta and how it was treated, it just turned out wonderfully, and it looks seamless. A great success.
Congratulations, GOLDBLATTS. Moving to the Industrial Commercial category. Our winner this year is Enlace Chicago in Chicago, Illinois. The project was designed by Canopy Architecture and Design, LLC.
So this is a building that really, throughout the day, wasn't at its best at any one moment, but it was actually at a really good feel throughout the day and into the evening. And one of the things that was really impressive about that, again, was masonry was the key to that. And glass block and the way it was treated, but also very innovative in the use of the patterning and making it so that it wasn't looking like it was just trying to get to the next control joint, but rather this was about a weave and this idea of things connecting and holding each other together and so mutually supporting one another, and yet letting things be clear what they are. So it was no surprise during the day nor in the evening that that was the stair core. And then on top of that, the idea that as people move through that space, especially during different times of day, you'd actually see that movement. And staircases are such a wonderful way to express that.
Congratulations, Enlace Chicago. Next is our Early Childhood Education category. This year's winner is KIDDIE Academy in Munster, Indiana. The architectural firm that designed the project was Baker Architects. The mason contractor was T&K Masonry.
With the KIDDIE Academy, we could tell that the architecture and design team had cared greatly about masonry, and we appreciated that they were devoted to the use of that material. And the fact that the two different parts of the KIDDIE Academy had two very distinct uses of masonry we thought was appropriate. As you zoom in on some of these images that were shared with the jury, the detailing revealed itself to be well executed, and we appreciate that from afar and at close, it looked like a very good masonry project.
Congratulations, KIDDIE Academy. It's time to move over to our elementary category. This year's winner is the Bernard Zell Aunch Emmett Day School expansion in Chicago, Illinois. The architectural firm was Wheeler Kearns Architects. The mason contractor was J&E Duff Incorporated. The supplier was Brickworks Supply Center.
Yeah, the Bernard Zell Day School is such a success from a masonry standpoint. It uses masonry in a way, in combination with the other materials, that really speaks to masonry as being different. The exterior wall, how they've made it proud of the glass, and the detailing that they've used to make it project out further, and the jambs where you can see the whole thickness of the unit. It really speaks to this shawl concept that they were trying to create. It feels very different. From the inside, you can see that the building is enclosed instead of clad, if that makes sense. So that was very successful. The curved walls, the 12 curved walls representing the 12 tribes, you know, great use of masonry, the open head joints in order to put the prayer notes in, emulating the west wall. Just so successful on so many levels. So a terrific project and one that they should be very proud of.
Congratulations, Bernard Zell Onch Emmett Day School expansion. The next category is high school, college. This year's winner is DePaul University Holt Schneider Performance Center in Chicago, Illinois. The project was designed by Antunovich Associates. The mason contractor was MPZ Masonry Incorporated.
So this is a building that really struck me as one that wants to express this idea that campuses are multiple buildings, and that while there isn't a lot of attention to all the rest of the campus and the imagery were provided, it was clear that the movement through the building to get from one part of campus to another is an incredibly important piece, and that the opportunity to have those students move through that building and see the performances and the practices going on is something that every university should, and most do, aspire to. It's this idea that our educational opportunities are stronger when we bring students together. The idea that a student is seeing other disciplines being crafted, how much people put into those things. And so the performance, the singers, the practicing, musicians, etc., to have that much attention put to that long gallery was quite compelling.
Congratulations to DePaul University Holt Schneider Performance Center. We'll move to the religious category. The winner is the Holy Family Catholic Church Project in Rockford, Illinois. The designer of the project was Larson and Darby Group. The mason contractor was JMI2 Corporation. The supplier was Northfield Block.
With the Holy Family Church project, we understand that addition created literally a new face for this church. And when you look at the old to the new and the impact that Masonry had to create this new and inviting experience into a sanctuary, we thought it was a really well executed project.
Congratulations, Holy Family Catholic Church. Let's move to our governmental category. This year's winner is the Arlington Heights Police Station in Arlington Heights, Illinois. The architectural firm on the project was Leggett Architects. The mason contractor was Iwanski Masonry. The supplier was Brickworks Supply Center.
With the Arlington Heights Police Station, the masonry and the use of different materials at the base, in the middle, and the top was used so expressively, and yet it's very tastefully within this community. And so for police department, it was a very inviting space for a larger community, and it exudes this idea that you know, this is a facility that's there to make you feel safe. Well, I think it is somewhat unusual in our experience, at least here in Denver, Colorado, to see that robust use of masonry and again, the way that different materials, whether it's limestone or sandstone or brick masonry, blended together in such a thoughtful way. And I guess a detail that sticks out or stands out was this large arched window that faces the street. And it does, even from a photograph, and I can imagine that community, make you feel as though that the police department there cares quite a lot about them and wants to keep them safe. And you know, that's a great message for masonry and for a police station to share.
Congratulations, Arlington Heights Police Station. Let's move to our next category, which is structural masonry. Our winner is the South Shore Beach House Project in Chicago, Illinois. The architect on the project was HPZS. The mason contractor was 2-in-1 Construction. The supplier was Northfield Block.
Well, a couple of things that are impressive about this building. First, it is a small building. And obviously, being on the shore of the lake, it's going to get a lot of weather. And being load-bearing masonry, it can handle it. This is kind of the immovable object in the seashore. The sand may move, this is going to stay. I was also impressed that single wide masonry that's glazed on the inside makes a perfectly cleanable kitchen. And I loved the overhead doors that are in just 2 pieces, so that when you raise them, They not only open the door, they also provide shade, and they are a rain shelter. So I think this works very well. It's kind of a bulletproof building.
Congratulations, South Shore Beach House. Next is our miscellaneous category. Our winner is Bulldog Park in Crown Point, Indiana. The architect on the project was CSO Architects. The mason contractor was Kwiatkowski Masonry Incorporated.
Well, it's certainly a building that in many cases was taking advantage of the material and thinking about how the masonry can help with the acoustics, be used in a way that both gives the solidity and the all-weather conditions that in particular the stage needed, but at the same time contribute to the real goal of what the performance space is. And so here masonry is not only a beautiful material, but it's also serving in a really important purpose so that the program can be successfully handled.
Congratulations, Bulldog Park. Our next 5 awards are the final awards for the evening. They consist of Best of Brick, Best of Block, Best of Stone, Craftsmanship, and Best Overall. Our Best of Brick award winner was also the winner of our Mixed Use category. The award goes to the Logan Crossing Project in Chicago, Illinois. The project was designed by Antunovich Associates. The mason contractor was Midwest Masonry Incorporated. The supplier was Brickworks Supply Center.
The material choices were very important in the Logan Crossing project. Given that it extends the entire length of a block, the use of different colors of masonry for different masses of the building helped to break that mass down. And the fact that it steps back at an upper story and there's this wonderful roof garden, I think further kind of breaks down the mass of that building on the block. Well, as you zoom in on the project, and this is always kind of a very cool aspect of any design jury and any award-winning project for the Logan Crossing, when you zoomed into even just sort of the outside corners, the way that the brick wrapped around the corner, those circular windows over some of the entrances, every little detail, the closer you looked, the more it seemed to be well thought out and crafted. And that's an award-winning project.
Congratulations, Logan Crossing. Our Best of Block award goes to the Loyola Academy project in Wilmette, Illinois. The project was designed by Kruk and Sexton. The mason contractor was Midwest Masonry Incorporated. The supplier was Brickworks Supply Center. Bricklayers, Allied Craft Workers Union members, and signatory contractors showcased their skills while building a vibrant new center for the performing arts at Loyola Academy. The 550-seat auditorium with a proscenium stage was a wonderful submission. BAC ADC1 Illinois members with signatory contractor Midwest Masonry recently finished building the theater's exposed ground-faced block walls. The complex installation involved rotated units and compound curvature that makes great acoustics, creating an immersive experience for audience goers. One thing that stood out for the judges was the curved walls. Each block was rotated in order to create a bounce back for the sound wave in order to achieve the correct acoustical sound. This job demanded perfection, even down to the slight concave or flush striking. Each block has a different block perception, and it changes from course to course. It requires high level of meticulous craftsmanship and skill level. This effort was rewarded by being selected as our Best of Block winner. Congratulations, Loyola Academy. Our Best of Stone award goes to Will County Courthouse Project in Joliet, Illinois. The project was designed by White & Company. The mason contractor was All Construction Group. The Will County Courthouse project was chosen as a winner in part because it was notably one of the largest scale rain screen projects in the Chicago area. There were many challenges to overcome in which the Chicagoland District Council Training Center acted as a resource. The training center, along with GridWorks, provided the initial necessary training and instruction for the proper installation of this system. Instructors continued to monitor its progress on site during the construction process. It was noted by the judges that this job changed and improved the way rain screen installation is being taught to our local apprentices. The judges also noted that the carry-through of a different stone on the interior added to the beauty of the project. The stonework was exceptional, and this is why the project has received such high accolades. Congratulations, Will County Courthouse. Our Craftsmanship Award this year goes to 1111 West Addison in Chicago, Illinois. The project was designed by Hirsch MPG, LLC. The mason contractor was A1 Group, Limited. The supplier was Brickworks Supply Center. This project was a standout because of its detailed work on the stacked bond. The recession of the chosen brick required detailed level work. In this case, the stacked bond required a very high level of quality craftsmanship to achieve the straight line and properly finished joints. It was noted by the judges that the two shades of brick color worked well together in the full design of the building to create an outstanding result. The beauty of the building is that it is not solely a masonry structure, but rather that the integrated use of mixed materials created a nice fusion of glass and brick. These details, along with the abundant light and colors, made this project exceptional. Congratulations, 1111 West Addison. Our final award for the night is for our Best Overall, which this year goes to Green Line Performing Arts Center in Chicago, Illinois. The project was designed by Morris Architects Planners. The mason contractor was Alarmco Masonry Company, Incorporated.
Well, with the Green Line Performing Arts Center, immediately the entire jury, I think, agreed unanimously that this was both an award-winning project and actually the overall winner for all of the projects that were submitted. And it's an example of how a small and I guess arguably humble project was able to do so much with potentially very little resources. Through just the use of masonry, they were able to sort of reveal an additive sort of pattern on the one side and a subtractive pattern on the other, and where it's light, it's dark, and above the green line, it's got one sort of experience, and below it's another, and it seemed to express the program. It did really well with the budget, and in terms of what that project was able to do for a community, it has made that street corner a wonderful place to be, and we can only imagine a great place to see your performance.
Congratulations, Green Line Performing Arts Center. Congratulations again to all of our winners this year. And thank you to those who attended this year's event.